Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Derek Coffin, Nature Advisories. I'm here at the January 2026 Metal Investors Forum in Vancouver. I'm here with Kroontje, who's the chairman of San Lorenzo Gold, one of my favorite deals, and not surprising, a fairly big shareholding, which I'm pretty happy about. Al gave a presentation yesterday, and as part of that presentation, he disclosed the results of the first drill hole of the current drill program. That drill program is still ongoing. I think they're on hole 10 now. But if memory serves me correctly, the intercept was 224 meters of 1.09 grams. That's a pretty damn good drill hole. And the thing about San Lorenzo and the thing about this project is Salvador has, I would say 3, maybe 4, and who knows, maybe there's a fifth one in there somewhere, targets that, and I think each one of those targets legitimately has potential to generate a significant gold or gold copper resource. Not one target, but 4. And their hit ratio on drilling, Terry Walker's a VP exploration, great guy. The guy just doesn't miss. I mean, his hit ratio across 4 different targets is just ridiculous. This is a stock you really, really, really need to be paying attention to. I can't put it any more strongly than that. Now, you just did a capital raise, Al, so I guess now you're sort of in a position to just kind of keep things going. Is that the plan now?
Yeah, we just finished a $6 million raise. We have enough money now with that cash, and of course we had warrants associated that would bring in another 3 or 4 million. So we have enough capital right now to continue to drill for the rest of the year.
Okay.
Which is what our intention is at Salvador.
Okay. Now you're on, you drilled the 4 holes at Cerro Blanco. The first Cerro Blanco hole is the one I just talked about. You've been drilling at Arco de Oro now for, I don't know, a month or a month and a half or something. You got any sense yet going forward of how you might split things up between different targets?
Well, we haven't released anything yet, of course,
Yeah.
on Arco, so it's a little difficult to discuss in detail what those plans are, but it's always been our intention to really follow up at Arco because we love that target.
Yeah.
Having said that, we like the other 3 targets as well. To remind everybody, it's Cerro Blanco, which you just spoke about. But there's a couple of other targets of porphyry we call Caballo Muerto, and then there's that copper epithermal system. It's called Tres Amigos. But to really answer your question, Eric, it's a little premature, I think, to say this is exactly what we're going to do.
Right.
We're looking forward to getting the results from Arco. It's always been a favorite of mine, very candidly. But, things are going well, and we're happy with our progress.
And just for those that don't know the company and the project, and if you don't, shame on you, get your ass in gear and do some due diligence. Arco is not a bulk tonnage target. Arco is a basically high-grade gold, silver epithermal vein swarm, fairly significant scale. I mean, there are artisanal workings on this system along, I think, 6 kilometers. And I think you quoted from what you call the core zone, the kilometer more or less where most of the drill holes have gone before this program. I think you quoted an average grade thickness that Terry worked out from your earlier drilling.
Yeah, that was pretty preliminary, Eric. You're right.
Yeah.
Just from the kilometer that we had drilled before.
Yeah.
If we took just the core zone, and it's not just a core zone as you've seen the results, but just the core zone down to 300 meters, which is the deepest we've tested.
Yeah.
That grade was over half an ounce, like 17.5 grams. So what I've quoted is just based on that, that's the first 1 million ounces.
Yeah.
Now, having said all that, you mentioned that it's a swarming epithermal system, and it definitely is, but we released a bunch of IP here recently that we did on that system. And I would just say that IP is very interesting.
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily support that Arco is only a swarming epithermal system.
Right.
But no other comments than that for now.
Right.
We have IP, we've drilled there, and we're looking forward to being able to announce results. as soon as we get them.
Yeah, I mean, certainly in the case of the, of the three targets that have seen those drill holes, it's actually pretty impressive. Geophysicists should probably take note and use it as a sales tool, because it's impressive how well IP seems to work at Salvador. I mean, Terry seems to really be able to zero in on stuff with chargeability anomalies, and time after time after time when you guys have drilled these things, you get great. I mean, it's quite impressive. I mean, I guess the gold's come in with the pyrite, and the pyrite lights up the IP, so it's an extremely good tool. And I guess one thing for people that aren't familiar with the property, you might want to give them kind of a background sketch on the location, because one of the several things it has going for it is extremely good logistics.
Yeah, the infrastructure around Salvador is outstanding. We have paved roads right to the property. It's reasonably low elevation at about 2,000 meters, so we're not in the high Andes. There's a water pipeline that goes right by the property that services the El Salvador mine. About 25 kilometers, and we can actually see it from where we're drilling at Cerro Blanco, is the Porphyry smelter, which is in operation. There's high voltage power, goes along the north edge of the property, and there's a workforce and pretty much everything that you need to be able to develop a resource when that time comes.
Right.
It's outstanding, the infrastructure that's there.
Right. Okay. So now that I know when you were drilling initially, you got the first hole done, and there were some mechanical problems with the drill, which are fixed. When I asked you the other day, you mentioned that you're pretty happy with their productivity now and recoveries and everything. But now, there's probably this little space before the first and second holes going to the lab. But after that, we can expect pretty regular updates.
That's what I would expect. Yep. Yeah, we're doing real well right now. You mentioned earlier we're on our 10th hole, and when we started this program and kind of did the initial funding for it, you may recall that I think we were at this conference and doing an interview that we just wanted to make sure there was enough funding in place for a 10-hole program. Yeah. So we've accomplished that now, but now we have additional money, first of all, but we do have one other issue, and that is we're not going to go explore with a drill bit. Yeah. What we're going to do is some more IP. Right. Now, we're kind of a 10-year overnight success, Eric. Terry and his team have been doing surface sampling and IP and for quite a bit of time now. So we have some core data that's allowed us to, when I say core, I mean the important data that allows us to drill up till kind of now, but we need to supplement that with more IP, more boots on the ground kind of work, which is a high priority for us right now.
Right. And what do you think your timeline is to get your contractor back for the IP?
Very soon.
Okay.
Yeah. It's being worked on right now. So I'm hesitant to say but soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're I don't know if this is the right way to say it, but pretty locked and loaded about exploring this property's potential aggressively.
Yeah. Well, I've talked to Terry, and I've talked to one or two of the other geos on the team, and I know those guys have been hitting it pretty hard. There's been a lot of, between the first phase and the phase that they're drilling now, there was actually quite a bit of boots on the ground to get stuff mapped in and help you zero in on targets with the addition of the IP. So, and I think that work's probably ongoing. And like Arco de Oro, again, I mean, it's a 6-kilometer trend. So there's, I was very happy to see that financing. Not only because I bought some of it, but because I've been one of the guys going, you could spot a fucking million meters. There's so many targets here. You could just drill this thing forever and not run out of targets. So I'm really happy to see that the program's being expanded. You delivered those fantastic results in your presentation yesterday. That release will be out before Monday morning, but I think this thing's just warming up. I mean, San Lorenzo is a great story. SLG on the venture, I don't know. Do you know what the U.S. symbol is? I do not.
I don't remember, no.
Yeah, I don't remember either, but it's SLG on the venture. It does have an OT, I think it's an OTCBB, maybe it's a QX symbol in the U.S., but This is absolutely a stock you want to be on. If you're not paying attention, you'd better start paying attention, because this is going to be a very big story this year.